Hey, everybody, this is Dr. William Clark, your host of the Dr. William Clark podcast. Glad to be with you for another episode. This is the podcast where we talk about all things fundraising, leadership, and strategy in the world of nonprofits. And we're going to be talking about how to obtain new technology for your nonprofit. This is an important question that a lot of people have, particularly when you have a program that services the community and you're trying to provide access to technology for your community by way of various programs you offer. And with that being said, we're going to talk about this today during our podcast. And before we get started, I want to let you know that this show was brought to you or is being brought to you by the Nonprofit Fundraising Strategies Academy. This academy was created for you, for nonprofit leaders, founders, executives, and interested parties who want to raise more money, serious money for their nonprofit organizations. Within the academy, we provide monthly live coaching on all things strategy, fundraising, and leadership. We talk about the three secrets extensively, the three secrets to raise serious money. You get to learn all about that via 60 plus videos within our library, and you get access to the tools and templates I use to raise millions of dollars every year. If this is what you need and it's something you need at an affordable price, join our academy by visiting nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. Again, that's nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. We have a few seats left for this month's cohort. Come on, join in. We have a seat waiting just for you. So the question today is, how do you obtain new tech for your nonprofit? Now, this question typically comes in the context of a nonprofit organization looking to spearhead funding to put technology in the hands of its consumers, its customers, its community. You see this typically when someone wants to launch a computer lab or someone wants to provide technology or access to technology to the community by way of various outlets that may exist throughout the community. And given what's been going on with the pandemic, a lot of programs have had to shift to virtual offerings, and this has been a challenge for a lot of nonprofits because they were not ready for the technological shift that was going to take place almost immediately. In addition, a lot of our customers may have not been ready, or so we thought. And so the question that tends to arise in this case and in other cases in normal times, how do you get new technology? The first thing most people think about is, who do I need to contact to begin the journey of asking them to donate free technology? Now, I think that is a worthy step to take. I do have a problem with that because oftentimes what I've seen throughout my career from the very, very beginning of me volunteering at a nonprofit while I was in college was that we would get these leftover pieces of tech and they would just be worn out. They would be beyond their shelf life, and nonprofits are then left to figure out how to refurbish all of these pieces of technology to give away or to use for community purposes. And that's a very difficult ask for a lot of nonprofits who do not have the resources to refurbish technology, or don't know how to distribute technology, or don't know how to bring those pieces of technology online. Now, during those times in my career, I was an IT major in college, and so I had exposure to it. And I could help out in ways that were substantive and useful to the nonprofits I was a part of. But I got to tell you, it was tough. It was tough to see that kind of happen to the nonprofits I was a part of. And so as my career progressed and I got deeper and deeper into the nonprofit world and fundraising and budgets, it became clear to me there's one path that makes the most sense for all of us to take to get new technology. And it's not coming from asking for-profit entities to give us their leftover technology. Don't get me wrong. In some cases, it works out and it works out well. But what I want to challenge all of you to do, if you're leading a nonprofit, particularly the funders, to think about how to get new technology for your customer. Why does it matter? Because your customers deserve it. They deserve the best. They deserve the best that you can afford. And if all you can afford are donations from different companies, I get it. But I want you to consider what I'm about to share with you as an alternative strategy here. When you're applying for programmatic grants, you're applying for grants to operate your programs in the community, have you considered adding a line item in your budget that includes technology and supplies? If you have not done that before, this is the time to strongly consider doing just that. Within the budget, you can add a line item for supplies where you can bake in the cost of upgrading your computer lab, or bake in the cost of distributing pieces of technology to your consumer who may not be able to get to your facilities, such as a time like this, or during bad weather, or during a situation where a single mother is unable to travel because of her children, or during a situation where your customer doesn't have access to reliable transportation. In these moments, you're going to need access to technology, and in some cases, you're going to have to provide technology and put them in the hands of your customer. So one of the ways, the most effective way I found to make this happen, is to include it in the budget. Because it's in the programmatic budget, you now know that once the budget is approved by your funder, you now know you have the capacity and the resources to go out and get new technology, and you are able to provide quality services for the program you are leading. This is key. This is a key strategy, because now you're not begging someone to give you pieces of technology. Now you're not competing with other newbies who are now trying to compete for donations as well. In fact, you've already gotten past the competition part because you've gotten a grant. Once the grant is in place, once the resources have been released, all you got to do now is go shopping for your program. This is how you start the process of upgrading your computer lab. Now, you may say to me, hey, Dr. Clark, we didn't get enough out of this particular grant to upgrade our computer lab holistically. That's okay. There are more grants out there to support your program. And notice I'm not specifically saying go get grants for technology. While there may be grants out there for that, if so, go ahead and get it. What I want you to think about is outside of the obvious donations, outside of the obvious technology-specific grants, there is one thing, one pathway that most people leave off their strategy list, and that is to write technology grants into their programmatic budget. And if you get multiple programmatic budgets or grants to operate one program, then in those budgets, you should be able to articulate as a line item an expense towards supplies and technology. This is something that you have to start to consider. This is what we teach inside the Nonprofit Fundraising Strategies Academy. We teach you how to put together a budget. We teach you how to call out specific items in the budget. We teach you how to raise the money you need to upgrade your technology, to pay for your staff, to pay for overhead costs, to acquire facilities and properties, etc. If this is the type of consulting, coaching, support, teaching you need in your life, and if your organization needs it, then I am going to strongly encourage you to join our masterclass. Right? Go to nonprofitfundingstrategies.com, join our masterclass. Again, you get access to monthly coaching. You get access to our 60 plus videos where we talk about the 3 secrets to fundraising. And what we share today in this podcast is a part of those 3 secrets. So if you want to know more about this, join a masterclass. We have a class on this topic. You also get access to the tools, the templates we use, including budget templates that we use to write in to our grant budgets how and when we would like to upgrade our technology. We do this as often as we need to, and it always is a value add to our bottom line. If this is the type of support you need, join me at the Nonprofit Fundraising Strategies Academy, and you can join by going to nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. Again, that's nonprofitfundingstrategies.com. This is Dr. William Clark for the Dr. William Clark Podcast. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, everybody.